Hey guys, iinzane here, and today I am introducing you to my career mode. This is going to be a My Team career mode based on iinzane racing. This career mode will consist of one episode per week at a minimum, with 50% races, full qualifying, and full practice. Each episode will consist of highlights of a tiny bit of practice, what happens in qualifying, and segments of the race to try and keep it snappy. If you do want me to change this formula in the aspect of putting in more highlights from the race, i.e. every lap updates of like Delta and stuff like that, then please let me know down in the comments. As you can see in the footage at the moment, I am currently creating my character, my livery, my designs for my racer and my helmet. As you can see, I've gone for the light blue, purple, black and white colour scheme. I felt this colour scheme went well with the design of the car, which you will see in a moment. I did struggle with the name for a moment, but we are going with iinzane racing. I do hope that isn't a bit too on the nose for my name. In relation to what we're going for, we're going to go for Oscar Piastri, as he was the only character. A Mercedes engine and the biggest sponsorship we can get. But as you can see, what my livery is about to look like for this season. Me personally, I love the fact it looks like a comic book, realistically. And the colours just blended really nice. I love the fact that you can change the way the paint looks. So in this, I've gone for satin and metallic. The black metallic makes the colours pop a lot more. For this interview with Will Buxton, I made sure I wanted to talk about the aero department to try and make sure that we're good going into those corners. Obviously, having a good chassis or powertrain, yes, it can help, but for me personally, I went for the aerodynamics. You'll see now that I'm looking into what upgrades I want to get. I believe we went for um, something in the aero department, just to make sure we had that major down. Yeah, there you go. We just wanted to make sure we had that because we want to try and upgrade for the upcoming races. Um, we then went and got ourselves one of the perks. I believe we got more resource points, so we could further upgrade the car and bring us further up the grid and in line with teams like AlphaTauri, Alpine, and the rest of them. We fast forwarded a little bit of time to try and get a second upgrade. Um, all the upgrades I was looking at we couldn't get before Jeddah because of how close Jeddah is to Bahrain. Um, so that was unfortunate, but I believe we do go for a chassis upgrade for Australia, as you can see. So getting into practice then, I've noticed this year, from a personal opinion, that the practice programs are much more difficult this year, especially in regards to the timed areas of it. Because like this car is not great, so you're struggling anyway, and obviously getting to grips with a new game, it's a lot different. As you can see in the background, I'm getting purples and greens, but I'm not fully 100% pushing because the car won't allow me to throw it in as much as I want to. So yeah, so we come across the line here and we've got exactly what we needed. We got the resource points. This clip here, I noticed I had cold tyres, yes, but it's just like that, just a spin like that, and I play with 0 assists, so obviously that's traction control. Getting into the next practice program, I want you to look at this. I was pushing as much as I physically could in this car, and for some reason the tyre wear would just not go down. I don't know if I was conserving more than I thought I was, but from that moment it would not get away from the purple, and obviously as you can see by the delta there as well, I'm staying quite ahead of my delta. Obviously I'm using a lot of my overtake to try and keep ahead of that delta, but That shows that I can conserve my tyres, but I think that's I'm not going too late into the brakes, or I'm not pushing the power enough. As you can see there by the new graph, how my tyre wear is going to be, which was fantastic. It was really nice seeing this new graph for the race strategy and all the different practice programs that how you do and it affects it. But let me know down in the comments how you're finding all the My Team and the new practice programs and how they actually react to your car and how you drive and everything like that. I think for me it's a big change, which is nice. But yeah, I think here we go. We're getting into our first lap of quali here. So I'm gonna run you through what my my thought process was for this. So obviously we're not in a great car. I was through all my online, because I've been doing a lot of online recently. I've been braking at the 100-meter board, and that was me braking just before it, having to get it rotated. The car does not want to fight with you. It doesn't want to bite anymore with this newer car. Obviously I'm still taking the dirt road to try and open up the track as much as I could, and you can see the car's struggling to rotate. Going into this fast right-hander to left, usually you can take that in fifth straight and it works. But clearly I need those downgrades, those upgrades for the car here, trying to get the traction going into third. With this corner here, I've always struggled. I think turn 10 is one of the hardest corners on the calendar. Trying to brake and not lock up is one of the hardest things to do. I've noticed there I was losing a lot of traction because I didn't want to put down the power too early because I'd spin. Going on to this, fast left-hander, putting it into fourth, get the grip, use all of the track I physically could, hug the inside without touching the curb as it's an auto spin, brake just at the Rolex board. I took that corner awfully, I took too much apex, dropping it down as much as I could, brake late. See, good angle here. Had a bit of a moment going into that, and across the line. That was only good enough for P14. I thought, all right, there's only 4 minutes left. I thought that was an all right lap. I didn't do any more. As you can see, I'm not 14th anymore. I started P21. Piastri in 18th. And that was a poor qualifying from us standpoint. But Bahrain was never my strongest suit. Now, we have the upgrades. I like this feature they've added it in this game, being able to upgrade within the middle of the weekend. And being able to do that and get the upgrade ready for the next weekend is superb. Like, look at that now. Our aero is now as good as Alfa Romeo. And that's huge going into the next few races. So, here we go, getting into the race now. Boy, are we in for a treat.
Months of rumour and speculation all come to an end today as we return to racing for the opening event of what promises to be an enthralling season. Welcome along then to round one of this year's Formula One World Championship. We'll be racing around 3.36 miles of the magnificent Bahrain International Circuit today. Keep an eye out for drivers locking the front left down into the tricky braking zone of turn 10. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks like for today's race. Charles Leclerc lines up on pole position, and the smooth operator Carlos Sainz completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Perez, Verstappen, and Sir Lewis Hamilton, and Russell, Bottas, Fernando Alonso, Ocon, and Lando Norris, Magnussen, Gasly, Mick Schumacher and Tsunoda, Joe, Ricciardo, Sebastian Vettel and Oscar Piastri, Albon, Stroll, Robinson and Nicholas Latifi. Which of these talented drivers will come out on top today?
So, getting into our strategy, I didn't want to do just a medium hards. Boy, did I regret that coming into the race. I was debating because obviously I toggled the personalization one, and due to what my tyre numbers were in practice, they said I could take softs and mediums without having to touch the hards. But looking at where they were in terms of the graph, I knew that once I got past that 50% mark, regardless of the new tyre wear model, I would have struggled and lost too much time. So I thought, you know what, we'll go softs and we'll jump on the hards. Getting into the new formation lap, I love this. Being able to park into your own spot was brilliant. Being able to do a little burnout beforehand is great. Getting purple, here we go. And I wanted to park myself a little bit to the right because I've noticed I've been tail whipping to the left. Because I haven't mastered the start yet. And away we go. Here we go. So we didn't get a great start. There's the tail whip there. We've got Latifi overtaking us to the right. We were thinking, okay, what we'll do, we'll try and make a little dive bomb in the inside. Maybe gain a few positions. The cars were really slow going into that first one. We didn't want to touch Vettel. The damage is on standard, not simulation, because I want to obviously adjust to the game first. You can see how slow our car is in terms of everyone else. I'm having to burn a little bit of ERS there. Go around the outside of Vettel up into P15 from P20. I've noticed on starting laps that AI really don't know what to do. Schumacher going on the inside of Ricciardo and Ocon. The AI are a lot more aggressive this year. Thank you. We did start quite well. So for this little battle here with me and Ricciardo, this went on for maybe 3 or 4 laps. We could not pass him. Regardless of if our car was in level with the McLaren or not, we just didn't have the raw pace to get past him. We were burning too much ERS. We were either making a little mistake here or there. It just didn't bode well, and you'll see in a little bit what actually happened. So here we go, just about to finish up our first lap. Staying within 5-6 tenths of him. Leclerc getting the fastest. So here you go, lap 5. This was literally the 5th lap. I got as close to him as I could, and I go for the dive, but didn't get it hooked around, didn't get the braking right. So we sacrificed our entry into turn 3. We have DRS, but this car it just isn't it. Ricciardo takes us on our inside, but we cover it off and brake late, but we go too wide. And Ricciardo gets us on our inside going into the fast right-left. We're about to drop it into the second gear corner. The hard right. Going into the hard turn 10. And you're going to see something here which I've noticed on this game now. You can actually bottom out your car on that curb, which threw me completely off. It was awful. So then I lost a position to Yuki Tsunoda as well. Here we go, lap 8. A few more laps, stuck behind him. Here you go, Ocon spinning. Probably due to, I think it was because of the Haas contact he had. Here we go. So he's just opened up his steering a little bit, and it doesn't even look like he's tapped him. He's at a tight, slight bit of contact with his front wing, and that sent him. The cars feel heavy but also light at the same time. So here we go, lap 8. My soft tyres were gone. Completely gone at this point. So we wanted to pit, get on the hards, and go the rest of the race. We might be able to make up some time in the pit stops, having clear air and everything like that. Here we go, we get a good turn in. I now know that if you turn in at 0.3 seconds, you will get an optimal every single time. But it was a good pit stop at a 2.6. This is the next lap. Safety car. I didn't know how to react. I was quite livid. And look, all it is Sergio Perez. He's just spun. It's like his engine cut out, like in the real Bahrain. But I just wanted to get through the safety car and try and make up some positions. As you can see, we're P15 after being last. Green racing. Latifi brakes really early. So we made a little bit of contact there with Schumacher, but we wanted to go on the inside and try and get as many positions as we could to try and make up for lost time. We get good traction. Short shifting is vital in this game, 100%. So we have Guan Yu Zhou going up on our right hand side there, going into the next lap, and you see Norris, and I don't know who that was that also pitted. Oh yeah, Bottas. Obviously the AI didn't pit under safety car. Here we go, lap 17, further in the race. This is another auto spin corner you need to be wary of. It was awful. Absolutely awful. And I just didn't know how to react. So coming back on the track, I wasn't aware, and I took Yuki Tsunoda out. I really should have looked properly, but he sort of turned inwards towards me at the same time, and that ruined his race and my race. Give me a 5-second time penalty being where I was, but I was even more stupid, and I got a penalty. A drive-through penalty for not looking at the delta. When I realised it was too late to stop, I got a drive-through. So not only did I have a 5-second time penalty, I also had a drive-through penalty, damage to my front wing, with less than 10 laps to go, and then to rub salt in the wounds, I got a 5-second time penalty. But that wasn't the craziest thing. I retired because there was no point. Alex Albon won the race. Yes, you heard me right. Alex Albon won the race. Not only that, our teammate Oscar Piastri got second. Sebastian Vettel got third. So no Ferraris, no Red Bulls, no Mercs. Williams won the race. That was crazy enough to me as it seemed. I didn't know how to react. I was in awe.
It looks like it's time once again to hand out the silverware as the successful drivers make their way to the podium. It was a gritty performance today by Williams, and they've got the race win to prove it. Let's have a look then.
Yeah, here you go. You've got Lance Stroll, Valtteri Bottas, Latifi, Zhou, Mick Schumacher, George Russell, Daniel Ricciardo. And they all stopped once, apart from Bottas, who stopped 3 times. And then, not only that, all the big guys got lapped once. So clearly retiring just made the race go crazy. But that's that for the first episode of My Team Career Mode. If you did enjoy, please like, subscribe, and comment if you want to see more. Thank you for watching. This has been iinzane, and have a nice day.